A very good Tuesday evening to all our viewers. Welcome. This is PrimeTimeNews. We're coming to you live and direct this evening from our Studio R here in Colombo. Bringing you the news tonight, I'm Joel Outscore.
And I'm Newsfirst.lk. Pasha. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Fast on to death demanding certification of Gotabaya Rajapaksa's citizenship continues. Mahinda Rajapaksa's response regarding the fast on to death. Chairman of the National Elections Commission says that no documents were presented regarding the citizenship of the presidential candidates. Basil Rajapaksa reveals about an agreement to form an urban council in Saindamaradu as soon as Gotabaya Rajapaksa comes into power. Gotabaya Rajapaksa speaks about how the economy collapsed as a result of failed large-scale projects. Prevention of Terrorism Act will not be abolished due to any reason, Sajit Premadasa pledges in Negombo.
Today is day 3 of the fast launched by Venerable Dr. Inguruvathe Sumangala Thero, demanding SLPP presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa prove his citizenship status.
Venerable Dr. Inguruvathe Sumangala Thero launched a fast last Sunday. The Thero is currently supported by many youth activists, including former convener of the Inter-University Students' Federation, Mahil Bandara.
I decided not to consume anything after 12 noon yesterday. In the meantime, we questioned about Gotabaya Rajapaksa's citizenship. However, we have not received any answer as to whether he is a citizen or not. If he is not a citizen of this country and if he is a citizen of the US, he is misleading his voters and the citizens of this country. If he plans to be a clean leader in the future, he must prove that he is no longer a US citizen, personally or through the US Embassy. He must prove with documents to us that he renounced his US citizenship and is now a citizen of Sri Lanka.
ලංකාවේ සැබෑ පුරවැසියෙක් කියන කාරණේ හෝ අපිට ඉදිරිපත් කළ යුතුයි.
Meanwhile, an individual in disguise had visited the place where the fast was launched and had requested Venerable Dr. Inguruvathe Sumangala Thero to stop his fast. Meanwhile, the convener of the National People's Council, Chamira Pereira, visited Independence Square today to meet and inquire about the welfare of Venerable Dr. Inguruvathe Sumangala Thero. The youth organization Towards Democracy also visited Independence Square this evening, concluding a walk that was launched from Dondra. Meanwhile, Minister Rajitha Senaratne also visited the Thero at Independence Square this evening.
Leader of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Mahinda Rajapaksa, responded to the fast launched by Venerable Dr. Inguruvathe Sumangala Thero in Kandy today.
Mahinda Rajapaksa responded to the questions posed by journalists after paying homage to the sacred tooth relic.
In order for this country to move forward, this government has to be defeated. Otherwise, our country will become a colony of foreign countries. This is what I have to say.
සම්පූර්ණ පිටරටයන්ට විකුණලා දාලා මේ පිටරටයන්ගේ කොලනියක් බවට මේක පත් වෙයි. ඒක තමයි අපිට කියන්නේ.
ඔබතුමාලා බලයට આવොත් යම් විදියකින් මේ ගිවිසුම සම්බන්ධයෙන් ගන්නක්
ක්‍රියාමාර්ගයක් නෑ අපි ගිවිසුම් ගැන හොඳට පරීක්ෂා කරලා බලලා තමයි අපි කතාව වැඩ කරන්නේ.
අපි දැක්ක මේ අර ඉංග්‍රීසි මේ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ උපවාස කරනවා මේ ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයා පුරවැසි බව නැහැ කියලා.
ආම්දුරන්ට කවුද ලණුවක් දීලා.
ඒකට කවුරු දින්නත් ලබන මාර්තු වෙනකන් එතුමා තමයි අගමැති කියලා.
අපි බලමුකෝ එතකොට.
Sir, again, on the Sri Lanka Nidahas
I am anyway a parliamentarian of the SLFP. We did not leave from the party. We were distanced from the party. We now hold the leadership of the new party. We are committed towards the betterment of the SLFP supporters.
Various opinions over the citizenship of Gotabaya Rajapaksa is being put forward at present. However, Gotabaya Rajapaksa's faction claims that all documents in this regard were submitted to the National Elections Commission.
There are claims that even if Gotabaya Rajapaksa wins the presidential election, he cannot be the president. They filed a court case which proved to be nothing but futile. Even the courts have accepted the fact that Gotabaya Rajapaksa is qualified to be a presidential candidate.
ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂකයා කියලා. පරාජය පේනකොට වියරු වැටිච්ච පුතානෝගේ කල්ලිය ආන් වපුරනවා පචබේගල්.
When they foresee defeat, they start to sling mud at their opponents. They are trying to influence the general public that there is no point in voting for Gotabaya Rajapaksa as he cannot take oath as the future president. If Gotabaya Rajapaksa is not qualified to be the president, they should have opposed on the day we submitted nominations, but there was no opposition. They foresee the victory of Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and this is why they are slinging mud at us.
උන්දලා දැන් මරුවි කල්ලෙන් පච වපුරන්න පටන් ගන්න තියෙන්නේ.
ජනතාවගේ ඔළුව අවුල් කර
The UNF have allocated this week to confuse the general public. They have now dragged Gotabaya Rajapaksa's citizenship into the scene. Gotabaya Rajapaksa renounced his citizenship in April. All relevant documents were submitted to the election commissioner.
Meanwhile, convening a media briefing on behalf of Gotabaya Rajapaksa last Sunday, President's Counsel Ali Sabri also said that the relevant documents were handed over to the National Election Commission.
පුරාසිභාවයේ විධිමත් ලෙස නීත්‍යානුකූල අහෝසි කරගත්තද කියන එක කොහොමද සාමාන්‍ය මහ ජනතාව පරීක්ෂා කරගන්නේ?
දැන් ඔබතුමා ශ්‍රී ලාංකික.
Now, how does the general public determine whether you are a citizen of Sri Lanka? If someone asks you this question, will you show them your birth certificate? You will only show your NIC to the relevant authorities. So in this context, who is the relevant authority? The National Elections Commission. So we have given these documents to the National Elections Commission.
මැතිවරණ කොමසාරිස් කාර්යාලය. එතනට අපි ගිහිල්ලා දීලා තියෙනවා.
මැතිවරණ කමිෂන් සභාවට
The NEC only looks at the matters which disqualify a person from contesting. The NEC didn't request for documentation or even pay attention to as to whether the candidates were imprisoned or had engaged in contractual agreements with the government or whether there was any issue with their citizenship. The Commission only looks at one point, and that is the signature of the candidate confirming that he qualifies and agrees to contest. We only consider these factors. The National Election Commission cannot raise objections. If someone raises an objection, the NEC can look into the matter. No documents are officially sought by them, and the NEC cannot make any statement to promote or demote any candidate. One might think that the NEC is trying to escape this matter, but we would like to say it was best if the NEC was not pulled into the picture yesterday.
යන කරුණු ගැන කමිෂන් සභාව කිසිදු ලියකියවිල්ලක් ඉල්ලන්නේවත් ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන් අවධානයක් දැක්වියවත් නැහැ.
මේ passport එකේ තියෙන cancel.
The passport states cancel. The CANCL on the passport means to cancel it and not that it has been cancelled already. This itself proves that this is not an original certificate. The entire country has already accepted this. Now, President's Counsel Ali Sabri convened a media briefing on behalf of Gotabaya Rajapaksa and revealed this fake passport. That's not all. He told the entire country that all the relevant documents were handed over to the Elections Commissioner. I addressed a letter to the Elections Commissioner requesting for these documents under the Right to Information Act. Yesterday, I saw the Election Commissioner saying that he did not receive such documents. This is a major issue. This is not a problem related to victory or defeat. If we allow anyone to contest an election without considering their citizenship, in the future, anyone who submits their nominations will be able to contest. Those who are voting for Gotabaya Rajapaksa must consider these facts prior to casting their vote.
මේ ගැන දැනගෙන තමයි තමන්ගේ ඡන්දය පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕනේ.
National organizer of the SLPP, Basil Rajapaksa, expressed the following views.
Basil Rajapaksa, who is attending campaign activities in the eastern province, addressed a public meeting in Saindamarudu last evening.
Before I speak further, I would like to say something. When the people of Saindamarudu came to see Mahinda Rajapaksa, I received a phone call to resolve the issue immediately. Then a group of people came with the priest. They were hoping to hand over a document to us and leave. But we decided to sign a memorandum of understanding to give an urban council to Saindamarudu as the first task when Gotabaya Rajapaksa takes office in the morning of the 16th.
පළවෙනි කාර්ය මේ සයින්දමරුදු වලට නගර සභාවක් දෙන්න.
I request you of one thing. Please invite me too when you lay the foundation stone for the urban council.
Meanwhile, Basil Rajapaksa attended another public meeting held in Kalmune this morning.
I would like to say that when Mahinda Rajapaksa, who always does what he says and says what he does, gives you his word, that will definitely be done. He is our leader and he has given you his word about the Kalmune Pradeshya Sabha. I will reconfirm his word. Or cast. You do your duty on the 16th and we will do our duty on the 17th.
Joining on Saturn political program yesterday, presidential candidate Mahesh Senanayake made a revelation.
After April 21st attacks until August, numerous social media posts were created on a daily basis against the Muslim community. These were created every 5 minutes. It was to spread hate. After some time, it stopped all of a sudden. Our people should understand what happened here. A certain person came forward to contest the presidential election. I responsibly state this. So votes from the minority communities were important for them. So they stopped it and pretended like they didn't do it. Show me one single post against a Muslim. So it is clear that this was created by a group for their campaign propagandas. But once they have obtained their votes, the situation will change after the 17th.
Now the following views were expressed by the convener of the Left Centre, Shamira Pereira.
Basil Rajapaksa and Dudley Rajapaksa, the two people who carry out his election campaign, are US citizens. 2 out of 3 of that family are citizens of the US. Whose money are they spending like this? Suspicion arises when this person can maneuver this money according to the whims and fancies of the US, which was given under the patronage of the US.
Well, with that, it's time for us to move into a commercial break.
Do stay with Newsfirst for more news.
You're watching Primetime News. Now, the first public rally of the day of the New Democratic Front was held in Kandurwala, Polonnaruwa today.
The rally was attended by the presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajith Premadasa, and several MPs and ministers.
තමුන්නාන්සලා 16 වෙනිදාට මේ රටේ ජනාධිපතිවරයා හැටියට මාව පත් කරනකොට මම දිවුරලා පොරොන්දු වෙනවා.
After the 16th of November, Sajith Premadasa, as the future president of this country, will create the most prosperous era for the people of this country. I will create an era where the silent and unrecognized masses of this country are made kings. After this election, no one will be disappointed. I will create a country where everyone is happy and content. We will develop a prosperous and self-sufficient country. Let's vote for the Swan and have a bigger victory than in 2015.
ඉහලින්ම හංසයාව දිනවන්නේ කියලා ඉල්ලීමක් කරමින් සියලු දෙනාටම ජය වේවා.
Attending a public rally in Kandy yesterday, presidential candidate of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Gotabaya Rajapaksa stressed on the importance of economic development through a systematic plan.
The public rally which was held in Kandy last evening was organized by MP Mahindananda Alutgamage.
අභිමන්දරු කෝටාබය නාමේ වැඩ කරන අපේ විරුවා බෞද්ධිමට පෙමින් සැවදා රට රකින්න කෙනෙක් බේරම්.
The rally was also attended by leader of the SLPP, Mahinda Rajapaksa.
බෞද්ධිමට පෙමින් සැවදා රට රකින්න කෙනෙක් බේරම්. ඒ ඔබයි උතුම් මිනිසා.
මේක ආණ්ඩුවක් නෙමෙයි මේක පාණ්ඩුවක්.
This is a lethargic government which lacks energy. They do not care about the people. Their only intention was to take revenge from us. All they did was to put people and their families behind bars. They filled the courts with cases. They did not engage in politics. If the expressway was constructed, we could have reached Kandy in just 45 minutes. What happened to the expressway? It's inside their pockets. When I was in power, I was in the process of developing this city, but everything was halted. The present government failed to develop this city as well. We clearly state after the 16th of November, we will make the Kandy city the most beautiful city in the upcountry region.
සුන්දරම නගරය බවට පත් වෙන්නේ. තමුන්නාන්සලා දන්නවා එදා අපි මේ රටේ.
After we ended the war, many foreign investors came to Sri Lanka. Domestic and foreign investors invested in our country. We improved and developed infrastructure facilities. We obtained funds to carpet roads, construct ports, airports, expressways, and develop multiple cities. However, we could not complete those projects. None of the funds we obtained were utilized by the present government in the proper manner. The present government halted all the projects that commenced during our regime to mock Mahinda Rajapaksa. The projects initiated to construct expressways to Kandy and Ratnapura, the expressway that was to be extended from Hambantota to Matara, were all halted. When they halted these projects, the businesses of the contractors, subcontractors and suppliers were negatively affected. The 400,000 plus direct jobs linked to these projects were lost. This was why the economy collapsed. We have presented a clear strategy and a plan to develop the economy and take our country forward.
අපි පැහැදිලි වැඩපිළිවෙලක් තමුන්නාන්සලාට ඉදිරිපත් කරලා තිබෙනවා. මේ පැහැදිලි වැඩපිළිවෙල යටතේ ආර්ථිකය අපි ඉදිරියට ගෙනියන්නේ කොහොමද කියන කාරණය.
Presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajith Premadasa, attended 10 rallies across the country yesterday.
The public rally in Negombo was held at the Green Path Park. They misused Sri Lankan Airlines. The uncle misused from one end and the son misused from the other. Finally, what happened? Sri Lankan Airlines suffered billions and billions of losses. I make this very clear. At no point will we privatize Sri Lankan Airlines. Do not associate privatization with Sajith Premadasa, as I am a UN peer who is not oriented to privatization. Keep that in mind. I am not someone who considers privatization as a remedy to every issue. I will never take such a foolish decision. I will make all state-owned institutions profitable. I will appoint a group of professionals, talented and efficient individuals to all state institutions and not political appointees. I will appoint a team of capable, qualified and talented individuals to Sri Lankan Airlines. I am not someone who travels overseas regularly. During the past 5 years, I've only went overseas twice. These were not personal trips. I accompanied the Prime Minister to Singapore and China. I paid for my own ticket. Whether it's the President, Prime Minister or Minister, whoever travels overseas must bring back something productive to the country. If not, they will not be allowed to travel overseas again. The Prevention of Terrorism Act will not be abolished for any reason. It will continue in the same way. Sajith Premadasa will never bow down to the various factions who try to advise on this matter. Remember, I accept nominations without any conditionally, and I will serve the country and its people unconditionally. I will review and study all foreign agreements once again. I will study every letter in these agreements. If there is even one sentence that goes against the national interest and the national identity of our nation, I will not hesitate to discuss this with the relevant foreign country and remove them from the agreement.
ඒ වගන්තිය
ඒ අදාළ රටවල් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරලා වහාම ඉවත් කරන්න.
During the political rally in Devala last evening, a group of regional politicians of the National Freedom Front and Janata Vimukti Peramuna pledged their support to Sajith Premadasa.
Several political rallies of the presidential candidate of the SLPP, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, were held in Hatton, Venapur and Miruwangoda today.
මිතලසින් ඉස්කම්මව එලයේ අභිමානේ පෙන්වා දෙමින් මුළු ලොවදින අපහායන ගමනේ.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa attended a rally in Hatton, Kottagala this morning along with Mahinda Rajapaksa.
මව්බිම අපේ රැකදෙන විරුවානනේ වැඩ කරන අපේ විරුවා මව්බිමට පෙමින් සමදා රට රකින්න කෙනෙක් බේරම්.
The rally was organized by the Ceylon Workers' Congress.
If a road was built, a hospital was built, it was me. I developed the Noor Elia General Hospital, but today there is no medicine in the hospital. I would like to very proudly remind you that it was during my time that 23 medical students were sent to the hospital to practice. What did these people do? Nothing. If one house was built, it was built by us. Therefore, we would like to remind you that we will take responsibility for your salary, your work environment and your children.
මේ අවස්ථාවේදී මතක් කරන්න ඕන. එමුනම් කතාව කෙටි කරනවා. කමක් නැද්ද? நண்பர்களே உங்கள் தமிழ் மொழியிலும் பேச விரும்புகிறேன். நீங்கள் பட்ட கஷ்டம் போதும் போதும். உங்கள் வீடு இல்லாத பிரச்சனை இனிமேல் இல்லை சகோதரர். நாம் உங்களுக்கு புதிய வீடுகள் கட்டி தருவோம். தருவோம் நோ? தருவோம்.
Today I have held a discussion with the youth. Their request is to develop schools to study. Also the students who get selected to universities go to areas like Jaffna. Then they will face economic issues. Therefore their request is to build a university within this area. So we promise those children to build a university within this area. Also the children requested me to provide the schools with teachers to teach them the English language, mathematics and science. I would like to tell you that we will take steps to develop the schools in this area and provide vacancies for teachers. Also, it is important to bring up the livelihoods of the people residing in this area, especially the salaries of the estate workers.
Ayram Rubai Sambalam Tariren Api Anivarenma Ekasiddha Karana.
We will definitely make that a reality. Also, it is important to bring up the livelihoods of the people residing in this area, especially the salaries of these estate workers. We will definitely make that a reality. We will promise you that we will construct proper houses for you. I will certify that during the 5 years of my tenure, I will definitely complete this task.
අපි මේ කාර්යය ඉටු කරනවායි කියන එකත් අපි සාතික වෙනවා තමුන්වහන්සේලාට.
A rally ensuring the victory of presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa was held at the Anuradhapura public grounds today.
අනුරාධපුර දිස්ත්‍රික්කයේ දුක් විඳින ජනතාවට ඓතිහාසික
I would like to request the people of Anuradhapura to provide the opportunity to the son of Ranasinghe Premadasa to serve the people who suffer in the Anuradhapura district and to carry out a historic development. A president who is 52 years old. A president who will work irrespective of day and night. By tomorrow night, all meetings in the 157 electorates will be covered. I will come before you in the same way after becoming the president with your blessings.
මැතිවරණයට ආව වගේ ජනාධිපතිකම ඔබතුමන්ලගේ පිහිටෙන් ලැබුණයින් පස්සේ මේ විදියටම එනවා.
A public meeting in support of the presidential candidate of the National People's Power Movement, Andhra Kumar Dissanayake, was held in Paladura yesterday.
The meeting was held opposite the Panadura bus stand.
අය අපේ රටේ එහෙම යුද්ධයක් ඇති වෙන්නෙත් නෑ. අපේ සාතිකයි. අපි ඇති වෙන්න ඉඩ දෙන්නෙත් නෑ නැවත ඒ වගේ යුද්ධ මේ රටේ.
There won't be another war in this country. We are certain of it. We won't let such wars take place in this country. We have to solve the conflict. To resolve the conflict in this country, we have a set of people who can understand the danger and who have the knowledge to resolve such conflicts. We will establish peace and security. We will make this country a proud country in the world. We will ensure the rule of law, a government without fraud and corruption. We establish a rule that will ensure the safety of the citizens. This country can be developed. If this country cannot be developed, then there is no other country that can be developed in the world. After being destroyed to this extent, if the country is still standing, that is the proof that is needed that this country can be developed. Hence, if we commence the development, how far can we develop it? Therefore, we invite the people of this country, if this country can be developed, then hand over the country to people who can develop it. We can build it. We have created programs for every field in this country that can be developed.
මේ රටේ සෑම ශේෂ්ත්‍රයක්ම ගොඩනැගීමට සමත් වෙන වැඩපිළිවෙල ඉදිරිපත් කරලා තිබෙනවා.
The Jatika Kala Paura, comprising of artists supporting Gotabaya Rajapaksa, held a media briefing in Matara yesterday.
The media briefing was held at the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Matara district office in Nupe.
I'm not here to campaign. I came here on the request of Saman Dissanayake.
මං ඉතින් පළවෙනි ගෑණි අත්හැරලා ගියා දෙවෙනි ගෑණි අත්හැරලා ගියා තුන්වෙනි ගෑණි සසෝරියා නම් ගියා. දැන් මං බොක්කෙම කියන්නේ බෑ. මගේ ජීවිත කතාව ලියන මාර කතාවක් ඒක. මොකක්ද මං කිව්වේ? කන්ටිනියුටි අෆ්සර්. දැන් කන්ටිනියුටි පොඩ්ඩක් අෆ්සර් ගියා. ඡන්ද දෙන්න කියලා. දැන් ඡන්ද දෙන්න කියලා එහෙම බැගෑපත් වෙන්නේ මේක මේක සෙල්ලමක් නෙවෙයි. දැන් මං කියන්න ගියේ ඒක කන්ටිනියුටි මල කෙලියන්නේ තුන්වෙනි ගෑණි අත්හැරලා ගියාට පස්සේ හතරවෙනි ගෑණි හම්බ වෙනවා. ගෑණිය නේ කෙල්ලෙක්. තමුන්නාන්සලගේ ඇයි මෙච්චර වයසට ගිහලා පොඩි කෙල්ලෙක් බැන්ද කියලා නෑ ඒක නෙවෙයි. ඇයි බං? මගේ වයිෆ් මට ආදරේ නම් කවුරුත් මාව අත්හැරලා යන්නේ නැතුව ඒ ආදරේ මං තව අනේ කීයක් ජීවත් වේද? තව අවුරුදු ඊළඟ මැති වෙනකොට නෑ ආයි මෙහෙම කරනවා කෙටි කරන්න කියලා. දැන් වැඩේ නෑ ඒක වැදගත්ම දේ මේ කියන්න යන්නේ.
Now I'm telling you the most important part. When my wife went to reside in Wahamalgollava in Madhavachia, she received a plot of land from Sajith Premadasa. I was hiding in that event because I don't like politics. When the media questioned me about it, I said it is a good concept, as his father implemented it as well. The next day I get a call saying whether I got a house. Why should I get a house in Madhavachia? I should get one in Colombo. But Vimal Veeravangsa says he will start a housing project and give me a house. I'm not talking for the sake of that house. I don't want that house.
හැබැයි ඒගේ වෙනුවනුත් නෙමෙයි කතා කරන්නේ. මට ඒකෙත් ඕනේ
නැහැ. Can you give me an answer to this? Who has media freedom and to what extent it is used? When there is war, we should protect our home. It's not going to deprive us of the freedom to eat and drink at home. But there may be times to keep their mouths shut if they interrupt.
An intellectual discussion took place in Wattala today.
It has been 72 years since independence. What happened to the country? Did it develop or not? Nothing good happened in this country.
නෝනක් පට්ටබයි මාත් පට්ටබයි බෑන්ඩ් එකේ ඒගොල්ලොත් පට්ටබයි මොකද ඒ දෙන්නට තියෙන බය කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ මා දකින්නේ වෙන මොකවත් නෙමෙයි විවේචනයට කැමති නැහැ.
When we present our opinion, they get angry. Then they hold a grudge against us. I see this as an issue. I think it is not good for a leader of a country to get angry over matters like this. No matter who gets elected, even if it is Sajith Premadasa, we need the freedom to express our views and criticize if necessary.
අජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්තයා පත් වෙලා ආවත් මම කියන්නේ අපිට මේ මහත්තයා විවේචන කරන්න ඉඩ දෙන්න.
Yet in election-related news this evening, a group of astrologers convened a media briefing at the Western Province East District Resort in support of presidential candidate Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
MP Lakshman Yapave Ravan expressed the following views during a media briefing in Mathura today.
What we mainly say is that on the political stages of Gotabaya Rajapaksa, he neither criticized anyone nor mentioned any names. Today, if we talk to 10 people, 8 of them will say that they will vote for Gotabaya. Vigneswaran clearly stated that in the manifesto of Sajith Premadasa, the New Democratic Front mentions about a unitary South and a united North. We will obtain a percentage of more than 53.05% according to the final survey.
Let's have a look at some views expressed at the New Democratic Front rally held in Moratuwa last night.
Think he is 53 and Gotabaya is 73. Now who is the main speaker in Gotabaya's stage? Anusha. They scream saying Queen. Another one is Bandhu Samrasinghe. This is the fate of Viatmaga. They have actors, actresses and comedians. They do not have a single individual with an ounce of political knowledge. Mahinda Rajapaksa and Namal Baby wants to gain power by fielding someone else. Rohita Baby wants to send a rocket through someone else. What does Yoshita want? He wants to get married wearing the Navy uniform.
They have these fantasies. If the Rajapaksas gain power for another 5 years, they will create a dictatorship. If the Rajapaksas gain power for another 5 years, they will create a dictatorship. Look at their set of people and our set of people in politics. They have chili powder Prasanna, sand thief in Deulapitia, and another one called Kudulansa. They also have ethanol Johnny. So this is the bunch who are there to develop the country.
අපි ආනවා තමුන්නාන්සලාගෙන් තමුන්නාන්සලා අපි රටවැසියෝ මේ පරදේශකාරයට අපි ඡන්දය දෙනවද පරවැසියට අපි ඡන්දය දෙන්නේ නැහැ.
We are all fellow citizens of the country. Do we vote for a foreign citizen? No, we do not vote for the foreign citizen. Not only you all, his own family including the wife, son as well as Basil, his wife Pushpa and the daughter will not vote. They are all Americans. Do we hand over our future generation to these Americans? I know for sure that Mahinda Rajapaksa will vote because of brotherly love. But Shiranti, Namal, Yoshita or Chichi will not vote. They want to bury this gang on the 16th.
මුන්ට ඕනේ කොහොම හරි මේ මරාලේ 16 වෙනිදා වෙනකොට වල දාන්න.
A group deployed by the Commonwealth to observe the presidential election in Sri Lanka has called on stakeholders to demonstrate commitment to a peaceful, transparent, credible and inclusive poll.
The Commonwealth Observer Group, whose members are drawn from various Commonwealth regions with backgrounds ranging from political, electoral, civil society and human rights, as well as legal fields, will receive briefings from relevant stakeholders including election management officials, representatives of political parties, civil society groups, the police, members of the international community and citizen and international observers. In a statement, Chair of the COG, Prosper Barney, said, quote, "As independent observers, we will remain objective and impartial in discharging our duties," unquote. On Thursday, observers will deploy to various provinces across the country to observe preparations ahead of polling day.
5 suspects, including an SLPP Pradesh Sabha member, were arrested for assaulting a female UMP member of the Riddhi Mali at the Pradesh Sabha in Mahyanganaya.
Police said the arrested suspects include Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna Riddhi Mali at the Pradesh Sabha member Sisira Kumara Bandara. The assault took place on the 10th of this month. Police said a group who attended the SLPP rally assaulted the UMP Pradesh Sabha member and vandalized the store she owns in North Tissapura, Riddhi Mali. DM Rasika Dirukshi, who was assaulted, resided in North Tissapura and was a mother of 5.
She has come out when she heard the firecrackers. That's when they have assaulted her. They attempted to drag her towards their bus. The son was there and he stopped them.
The
injured Pradesh Sabha member was admitted to the Mahyanganaya base hospital.
They had no reason to park the bus there. Nobody went passing my house to attend the rally. They had no reason to go there. But he stopped the bus and lit firecrackers in my veranda. It is when I shouted, they took the firecrackers away. I was then assaulted by them.
Meanwhile, parliamentarian Rohini Kumari was also subject to an attack last evening.
රැස්වීම් කීපයක් කරලා අවසාන රැස්වීම තිබුණේ ලග්ගල පල්ලේගම ප්‍රාදේශීය ලේකම් කොට්ටාශයේ තෝරපිටිය කියන
We conducted many meetings and the final meeting was in Thorapitiya, Laggala. We conducted the meeting at a house. I delivered the final speech. While I was addressing the gathering, someone approached from behind and tried to attack me. My security detail was there then. They managed to push him away. He then grabbed the mic and shouted, saying nobody else has a place here other than Gotabaya Rajapaksa. They will never come in front of a large crowd and do something of this nature if they don't have a good backing from top officials. I heard that while the meeting was going on, the Pradesh Sabha member of the area was there on the road.
ආපු පුද්ගලයාත් එක්ක ප්‍රදේශයේ ප්‍රාදේශීය සභා මන්ත්‍රීවරයා ඇවිත් ඉඳලා තියෙනවා පාරේ.
Investigations are underway in this regard.
Meanwhile, a group of activists pledged their support to presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajid Premadasa, and handed over an epistle yesterday to ensure the security of women.
The program took place opposite the Vihara Mahadevi statue amidst the participation of a large number of female activists. The devils have now come to our doorstep. Even though Gotabaya Rajapaksa promises to create a country where all women will be safe, with the people around him, he cannot achieve this. Even during the previous regime, they could not create a country safe for women. So how can the brother create a safe country? It was during the previous regime that the Chief Justice was kicked out of her position. It was back then when a foreign lady was sexually abused in Tangal and her husband was brutally killed for trying to save his wife. A man identified by the name Ratharan sexually exploited a 15-year-old girl. I even have the relevant medical reports with me. Later they threatened the girl and tried to bribe her to keep her mouth shut. There are plenty of examples to prove how women were treated during the previous regime.
The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna convened a media briefing at the party headquarters today.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa changed the election culture within the election campaign. Today, the entire country has been directed towards a lawful election. We do not want to win forcefully. Their victory should come with respect. We do not follow a culture where anyone wins forcefully. The victory should come with respect. We do not follow a culture where anyone wins forcefully.
ජයග්‍රහණයට ගෞරවයක් තියෙනට ඕන. කොහොම හරි දිනන සංස්කෘතික අපි නැහැ. මම බේරුවල ආසනයේ නියෝජනය කරන
If there is anyone who tries to do politics with Minister Rajitha Senaratne in the future, I as the elected organizer of Berola and my people will take strict measures against it. We do not like to do politics in the same stage as Rajitha Senaratne.
අපි රාජිතලා ඉන්න වේදිකාව තුල දේශපාලනය කරන්න කැමති නැහැ.
Presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajid Premadasa, attended a program organized by a group of youngsters in Colombo today.
A group of young MPs and ministers also participated in the program. I will not change or be flexible in terms of straightforward decisions I have taken. And the straightforward decision is, this country needs a change, a new start, a new vision, with a new team of clean leaders. Through good leadership, we must direct this country towards development and create an era of prosperity. I clearly state there will be no room for any perpetrators who looted the public and misused national assets or engaged in corrupt activities. The state sector, private sector and the cooperative sector must be considered during nationalization. There are 7 million people in this country employed in the cooperative sector. Therefore, we must introduce a system that considers the employees and institutions within the cooperative sector. Today's society is health conscious and no longer price conscious. This is mainly due to a rise of non-commutable diseases. Therefore, we must introduce new laws and regulations to protect the consumer. We must also inform the general public regarding such matters. The most valuable resource in Sri Lanka is the human resource. We must improve the road system in our country to maximize the efficiency of the human resource. From one hand, we must create a new and systematic road system, and on the other hand, manage the traffic congestion efficiently. Our plans to include to improve 132 junctions and introduce a system where all traffic will be monitored through a traffic surveillance system.
ජනාධිපතිවරණය අතිශය තීරණාත්මක මැතිවරණයක්. ඒ නිසා ඡන්දයට පෙර සිටන්න.
Rating agency Moody's has cut its global sovereign outlook for 2020 to negative from stable, saying disruptive and unpredictable world politics would slow growth and increase the risk of economic and financial shocks.
Moody's, which has already slapped downgrade warnings on Britain, South Africa, India, Mexico, Turkey and Hong Kong, said there were three main drivers behind the move. Moody's now expects growth in G20 group of 10 world economies to stay around 2.6% next year, after 3% in 2018. The report adds unpredictable politics and trade wars such as that between the United States and China would weaken open and commodity exporting economies. The increasingly antagonistic environment was also likely to damage global and national institutions, which together with lower growth raises the probability of crises but reduces the capacity to deal with them. The report says there are a few silver linings and a rising risk of more negative outcomes. Unpredictable politics also create an unpredictable economic and financial environment. While the starkest example remains the US-China trade spat, tensions that diminish growth have also risen in the Gulf between Japan and Korea, India and Pakistan, the US and the EU and Britain.
Let's now take a look at your international roundup for today.
Homes were lost in Australia as bushfires raged across the vast area of the country's east coast. Officials issued 14 emergency warnings in New South Wales, each covering several communities by late afternoon, as more than half the 78 fires across the state burned uncontrolled amid catastrophic conditions. The current outbreak, which killed 3 people and destroyed more than 150 homes at the weekend, has been fanned by an unprecedented combination of high temperatures and strong winds. The worst of the weather was not expected until later in the afternoon and through the evening, with temperatures forecast to reach 37 degrees Celsius along with strong winds. In Sydney, home to 5 million people, health authorities urged people with respiratory issues to stay indoors because the city was covered by a hazardous smoky haze. Israel has killed one of the most senior commanders of a militant group in the Gaza Strip in an airstrike. Baha Abu al-Atta, a leader of Palestinian Islamic Jihad, was killed along with his wife when a missile hit their home, the group said. Israel said Abu al-Atta was a ticking bomb who was planning imminent terrorist attacks. Rocket barrages were fired at southern Israel from Gaza in the wake of the killing. There were no immediate reports of injuries from the Israeli authorities. Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani said Afghanistan will release 2 senior Taliban commanders and a leader of the Haqqani militant group in exchange for an American and an Australian professor who were kidnapped in 2016. The decision to free top militant commander Anas Haqqani and 2 other Taliban commanders in a prisoner swap could pave the way for peace talks between the Afghan government and the Taliban. The prisoner exchange comes at a time when efforts are being made to revamp peace talks between the United States and the Taliban. The Taliban had kidnapped the Australian and American professors in August 2016 from the American University of Afghanistan in Kabul. Bolivia's former president Evo Morales is flying to Mexico, where he has been granted asylum, Mexico's top diplomat said, as unrest shook the South American nation. Mexican Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard said on Twitter that Morales had boarded the plane to ensure his safe journey to our country and said that the aircraft had taken off. The departure of Morales, who was part of a wave of leftists who dominated Latin America's politics at the start of the century, followed weeks of violent protests over allegations of fraud in the August 20th election. His government collapsed on Sunday after the Organization of American States delivered a damning report on serious irregularities during the October vote, prompting ruling party allies to quit and the army to urge him to step down.
In sports tonight, the Sri Lankan contingent for the upcoming 13th South Asian Games has been announced. Now, the Sri Lankan contingent has been discussed widely as a result of the amendments that have been made.
The organizers in Nepal have agreed to allow 2 athletes to represent a country in the athletics events by amending the previous regulation, which allowed only 1 athlete to represent their country. But a question arises whether the Sri Lankan officials have utilized this golden opportunity to provide valuable exposure to the budding athletes. According to reports, the selection committee has decided to include 2 participants each for many events. However, the sports ministry has decided to cut down the number. The men's 400-meter hurdles is one such event. Brothers from the same family, Asanka and Asita Ratnasena, recorded the best timing in 400-meter hurdles this year. Only Asanka Ratnasena has been included for the South Asian Games. Asanka and Asita clocked 51.51 and 51.80 seconds respectively. It is also significant that only 1 athlete has been included for the women's triple jump. In addition, it is surprising that 2 players each have been selected for some events in which Sri Lanka are below the South Asian level. It is reported that more than 32 officials from the Ministry of Sports are expected to attend the 13th South Asian Games in Nepal. According to reports, that is in addition to the 20 officials of the National Olympic Committee and 40 officials from the Institute of Sports Medicine. If a bunch of talented athletes are being cut off and a large number of officials are preparing to attend the South Asian Games, isn't that a serious obstacle to the development of athletics in Sri Lanka? The names of many officials of the Department of Sports Development have been included in the respective teams of each sporting event. If this is the case with Sri Lankan athletics, which is yearning for international silverware, will it be possible for Sri Lanka to win the expected number of medals at this year's South Asian Games?
We leave you tonight with the views expressed by presidential candidate of the New Democratic Front, Sajith Premadasa, in Kuliyapitiya today.
And with that, it's a wrap of Primetime News. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Yuki Poshia.
And I'm Joel Outspoon. If you missed out on any stories, simply log on to our website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. Take care. Good night.
I
am not an American import. I am an original Sri Lankan. I would like to say that I don't worry about citizenship because on the 16th we will win with a record margin. so there is no need to drop out of the race owing to citizenship. Please stay. There is only a handful of days. I am proud to say that the people of this country will elect Ranasinghe Premadasa's son as the common man's president.
ජනාධිපතිවරයා හැටියට රණසිංහ ප්‍රේමදාසගේ පුතාව පත් කරනවා කියන එක මම ආඩම්බරෙන් මේ අවස්ථාවේ කියනවා.